brain sluice, slick with ectoplasmic juice. Ecstatic energy, a fire that fuels our memory. With genealogy, with spiritual topography. Questions for your answers, we are data necromancers.
I realized that the last 3 episodes I did that and I wasn't recording. Or like something wasn't recording. And now it's all working. It's working. We're live. We're going.
January 16.
January. That doesn't do anything.
The jovial month. By Jove.
Oh.
We're podding.
We're podding. By
Jove. She's got the moat.
Look at these notes you got.
Some notes. Just a little bit of norts.
A little bit of narts.
Should I sit like this?
Can you still see me?
Look at her sweet fresh kicks, motherfuckers. They're pea yalla.
They match the wall behind me.
Oh, I wonder if this is your house and your shoes.
Do I like color? You know how hard it is to enjoy color and go furniture shopping? It's nearly impossible.
Yeah, because the safe choice is the neutral
It's
choice.
mauve.
Yeah.
Is mauve and white houses with gray walls and white fixtures and white cabinets. I'm like, this shit is almost unbearable as like the bulbous wood choices of the 70s.
I kind of dig on bulbous wood choices
I
of
dig
70s.
wood more than like whitewash fucking laboratory farmhouse.
Yeah, it's tough when everything is so sterile. Sterile. For a long time, I thought my personal decorator's inspiration was like maximalist. Like, I want Baroque gold frames on everything.
Oh, that
I want
reminds
everything
me of an
to
account
be.
I follow. There's a house like that. Yeah.
Oh, it's like super ornate.
Yes.
And there's like pictures on
Crazy
every
shit.
inch of the wall.
Yeah.
I decided that I enjoy being in spaces like that temporarily.
But you'd hate to clean it.
Cleaning it would suck. I mean, I have so much dusting to do in my own flat, but I don't want that all the time. I want a little taste of that. Maybe one wall that's like that.
What made you come to that conclusion?
It's too busy. It's a bit too busy, yeah.
What if you had a room like that?
Yeah,
your
like
library was like
maybe
that,
a
like,
creative space, or like the library is like that.
like
I think that'd
stacked
be
with
awesome.
art and
like a ton of plants and like super shaggy, luxurious faux fur rugs and hangings and
dude,
stuff.
plants are so hoard.
To keep alive.
I remember my prayer plant got mites, and trying to get rid of mites on the plant, and then the mites would go to other plants.
Ooh.
And I would repot it and it would just fucking die again. It was...
Plants get mites, plants get blights. What can you do? Dip them in soapy water?
I did so many things, and then it looked so sad, and I gave it away for free to somebody who said they were going to revive it.
Someone like Adam who has 2 green thumbs.
I should have given it to him. I don't know if we were well acquainted at that moment.
You weren't friends with him at the time.
Summit Coyote digs wood.
Hey.
Hey.
How you doing?
Hey.
So, you recently watched some movies or what?
Like what?
Didn't you watch Blazing Saddles?
I fell asleep during the first 10 minutes.
Oh, word. I recently watched Escape from New York from 1981, the Kurt Russell jam. I didn't know that Isaac Hayes was in it, and he was the Duke. So, have you seen the movie?
No.
Can I explain to you the
Isaac
premise?
Hayes? Yes.
Isaac Hayes was chef in South Park.
Oh.
Isaac Hayes.
And he left South Park for religious reasons, right?
Yes.
The Mormon
Was he
stuff.
Scientology?
Scientology, yeah.
And the South Parkian view of Scientology was not too kind.
Well, it was funny that like he had been with them through all of their antics.
All their bullshit.
But he was like, this I cannot do.
This is where I draw the line. Wasn't he Shaft as well in the 70s?
Was he?
Or am I thinking of someone else?
I don't know.
I'll have to double check that. So the premise of Escape from New York is
Leaving New York.
New York. So the movie was made in 81, but it takes place in 97, which is the future.
Right.
So in the beginning of the movie, they say, crime has risen 400%. And all of America's high maximum security prisoners have been relocated to Manhattan Island. Manhattan Island is a maximum security prison, and on all sides it's walled in and sort of monitored by the United States police force. They have a federal police force. And
these are dudes writing these movies.
oh yeah. So that's the concept. The whole of Manhattan is just a prison now, but there's no like warden or there's no like police on the inside. It's just all the criminals to themselves, all the inmates to themselves. So the president is flying on a plane that gets hijacked by like a freedom fighter who, I forget what her purpose is, but she intends to crash the plane in Manhattan. The president has a briefcase with like a really important cassette tape having to do with the proliferation of nuclear arms, because it's the 80s, so it's like the arms race, space race, whatever. So like this tape,
space race, the arms race, the nuclear waste ace.
yeah, it's like this tape has the ability to either give America the leg up in the war or end the war or something. It's really important. So
you gotta put it in and listen to it.
yeah, right. It's
Yeah.
a fucking cassette in a briefcase that he handcuffs to his hand.
Yes.
So the plane crashes. The president gets abducted by someone, some prison faction, and then this dude Snake Plissken, who, can someone explain the connection between Metal Gear Solid and Escape from New York? Because I know the character's name in Metal Gear Solid is Snake Plissken,
Which is a video game.
it's a video game, but it's an incredibly well known and well loved video game.
Yes.
So Snake has to go in and save the president because he has to save the world, basically. And I was kind of bored most of the time just because my brain is trained on like today's media that happens a lot more quickly and like gives you a lot more to look at. But like it was interesting to see what they did with such a small budget and like the way that they envisioned the future in 1981. So I was entertained. And I don't really have like a wrap up thing that I got from it that I want to like explain to you. But it's on the Criterion Channel in this category, post-apocalyptic sci-fi, which is the category where I want to be. So now I've seen 2 movies in that category, and every time I watch a movie all the way through, I'm like, fuck yeah, Megan, you fucking did that.
You put a star on your chart.
You were alone and you decided to watch something other than Bob's Burgers. Fucking A, brother. You're making your way in the world. So
congrats.
Escape from LA is next. I assume
Is that a
sequel. Murphy's looking at me like I need to make him dinner.
Aaron texted us, speaking of the apocalypse. And Aaron often doesn't respond to our text, but he'll like it.
Yes.
So he was texting us, which is a rarity. And he said something that is just so perfect. What time was this at? This was at 10:44 p.m. Even texting has become complicated. I'm secretly waiting for the solar flare to set it all to 0, so those of us with applicable skills can excel. And I was like, that needs to be on a plaque in our cooking school, because like Aaron has summed up why for the last 3 years he never texts us. We have a hard time communicating with him via phone. And I was like, it's a perfect cooking school mantra. Like, look,
Absolutely.
if a solar flare wipes everything out, we want you to have the applicable skills.
Yeah.
So he's also suggesting too that he wants to rise to the top because it's within him.
It's 1,000% within him to rise to the top.
But he wants to live in that reality because he's tired of communicating.
Okay.
Right.
I don't know if we're ready to go this direction, but I have a question because I think about this a lot. One time you said that, I don't know what percentage of people, but a large amount of people are NPCs.
Yes.
Or sort of like
Most
people who
people.
don't really have the juice or the steam or the...
They're the people that went to the grocery store these past 2 days and bought everything.
Okay.
They're panicking for no reason.
Right.
They're buying food like it's not gonna be 68 degrees tomorrow, which it will be.
Those are the people that Aaron wants to be scourged in the solar flare.
Yes.
Those are the people that he's tired of stepping around and waiting for or catering to.
What happened?
She got upset.
Oh my god. Somebody hurting her. Sorry.
Whitney's mother system is firing. Describe your feelings.
Do
you want to go get her?
I want to fight who's ever.
I think it just sounds worse because it's amplified. Doesn't it sound like it's echoing?
It is because the baby monitor's on, but she is mad.
She woke up and didn't see you.
I have to check.
So
The
I was just
screaming
briefly
potato.
mentioning that I think if you want to go about life and not be like angry or I don't know what other feelings NPCs inspire in you, but I feel like if you look at other people as if they are the chaff and they need to be wiped away off the earth, you'll have a worse time in social interactions. You'll just feel worse.
Wait. You'll have a worse time if you've wiped all the NPCs?
If you believe that other people are lesser, like if you believe that other people are NPCs or like the chaff that needs to be wiped off the earth, you'll have a worse time with social interactions.
Oh, that's what you're saying. That's where Aaron's coming from.
Yeah, I feel like that outlook is so bleak. Because there's so many of us, I don't really see how anybody is any better than anybody else.
Do you hear him talk? I've never heard him talk about other people sucking.
Well, I remember him saying that he would eat people. So I think that speaks to what he thinks. But
in an apocalyptic scenario, or as in a like if the meat was available, he would eat it.
I don't
never
know the qualifying statement for that. But I just feel like it's
I need my humans to be grass fed.
well, they need to be fed on
Not corn.
no GMOs, please.
No GMOs.
Can you find it, honey?
I got
Do you want me to hold your mic
she
while
was
you
totally
position her?
Cross-eyed. She normally shits 3 times in the morning, especially if we're going somewhere. She'll like blow out 2 outfits.
Yeah.
But today she didn't do that, and yesterday she didn't do that. So when we got to the mall, we went to the mall because it was a freeze, and I was tired of being locked inside a house with a newborn and a toddler for 3 days.
Understandably.
I grabbed her out of the car seat, and there was shit. There was shit on my shoes. There was shit in my hands, and so I was standing on the escalator going down with a poop dripping baby, and then Ruby's wearing a panda outfit, and she's screaming because she has never rides the escalator, and like in 1 minute I like a reverse Michelangelo's painting, I grab her with my non-shit hand, and Lucas is just watching me.
I'm so glad
it felt
that you
like
laugh
an oil
at it.
painting because
that's such a good perspective to have.
It had like it was like a burger smoothie had exploded all over me and my child. And my larger child is screaming in fear from the escalator. And I'm like, if I leave her up there, I'm going to have to turn around.
That's the best attitude, I think, to have when you have this.
It was perfect though because the mall was full of parents.
Yeah.
There were only parents.
Everybody's
there,
just
so-
like sharing glances like, yeah, I know.
No,
We
everybody
know.
was averting their eyes because they were giving me privacy. Everybody was like this.
Oh, that's the mom thing. She's doing her mom thing.
There's poop everywhere.
Do you need a drink, by the way?
No, I'm good.
You good?
I'll drink my baby's pee.
Oh, so she'll drink your milk and then you drink her pee.
Yeah,
it's a cycle.
It's a closed loop.
That's beautiful. That's what we need more of in our economy.
I wish Full Metal asks how's parenting ×2 going. I've recently the gas tank has gotten 1,000 times bigger.
Yo!
And your I don't give a fuck attitude balloons up to the size of Manhattan Island.
Fucking hey, brother.
And I wish that I had a dollop of that with the first child.
Huh.
Because it would you'd worry less. And I remember my aunt, we were at my cousin's house and there was a bottle on the counter and I think somebody was trying to grab the bottle and my cousin was like, no, it's just expiring. And my aunt looks at the bottle and looks at my cousin and goes, yeah, buy your second kid, that will last for 8 hours instead of 2. And like it was that notion.
What does that mean?
Like breast milk can only sit out for a certain amount of time. So she's saying,
I was just thinking of a bottle, like a bottle of anything.
I think it was breast milk because I was like,
Okay.
wait, I don't know if I don't think formula. I don't have no fucking idea. Anyways, but it was like my cousin was being cognizant of the expiration.
Right. Shelf
and my
life of
aunt
the
was
milk.
going, yeah, second time around, you just don't give a fuck.
You're not gonna give a fuck.
And that has like rang so true because I went to a little mom's meetup. Our due dates were a day apart. She ended up giving birth 2 weeks early, but she was there and, she's got the thing out and the other thing and then the 40 burp cloths and she's sitting in a corner by herself and I'm just there with my tits out being like, give me another pancake. And I was like, wow, I wish I could just give you a little bit of,
Yeah.
I don't fucking care.
That's
You
the mother
shouldn't
wisdom.
fucking care. Don't worry about it. But she's panicking. But I was like, I guess that's the cycle. You gotta go through it with your first one, doing all checking all your I's and T's and dots and cross marks.
Well, and you can't gain wisdom without experience.
Right.
You
And
can't be given wisdom. You can't download wisdom. You have to that is tacit knowledge that you have to fucking earn.
Yes. And so it's cool to just have that explode to whoa, let's have 4. Because you're already in a fucking garbage disposal of farts and boogers and chaos. But it's been a lot more rewarding to it's been a lot more. You see how she's been giggling now, so she'll look up at me and giggle.
She's looking at you podcasting, talking about her, and she's like, "This is so funny, Mom. This is so funny, Mom."
Are you done?
She's like, "Don't put that away."
But going to a restaurant is more rewarding. I could see why people stop going out because it's fucking insane. But you know me, baby.
Oh,
I
throw her into the chaos vortex.
throw me into the chaos, and it's like you go out, you do the thing, you feel so. I did it. We did it.
There's so much truth behind that. There's a wall of fear or anxiety that's separating you and the thing you want to do. You blast through the wall, you do the thing, and then you gain XP points for having done the thing that was a little freaky to you in the beginning. And maybe there's not that much freakiness to overcome. For me, that chicken, mucking out the chicken coop and replacing the shit, that was something that I said I was gonna do, so I had to fucking do it. And when I did it, I was like, fuck yeah, I did it. What the fuck?
Yeah, well, yeah, and then you got Aaron who's like, I didn't think you guys were gonna do it, and you're like,
Yeah, I have to do the things that I say I'm gonna do, or else I'm just a worm.
the world is full of a lot of flakes,
And I don't want to be flaky anymore.
and I've
I've flaked so
never-
many times.
never flaked on anybody.
That's a great thing to be able to say. I have flaked many times, but I'm working on not flaking anymore.
But I also don't commit to stuff I know.
That takes very strong knowledge of self. And I admire that.
Like, I remember working in the restaurant, everybody, come here, come do this with me. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. No, I don't want to dress like a mermaid and go do fucking PCP at a strip club. That sounds fucking awful. And so I also just like wouldn't commit to stuff
that is... Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And then, I guess my overcoming the people pleaser thing, because I know what people want to hear, but then if I say I'm going to do something because they wanted to hear me say I was going to do something, then I have to go do that thing. Ugh, don't make me do that thing. Now I'm coming up to balance. I'm trying to find the place where I belong, it feels good. I feel like a newborn wearing a Lisa Frank onesie.
It's maturity. That's what that is.
It is, and I'm coming about it my own way, which is slow. But it's coming and it's sticking. She's a baby in the morning. Hi, Puchanani. Oh, Nino kaitawa malale weche.
Teeny tiny puchanani, 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 teeny tiny puchanani,
teeny tiny puchanani. Are you gonna reveal?
Yeah. It got brighter when I did that.
It's the Simba thing. Teeny tiny puchanani. Welcome, Lydia, to the group.
How do you feel about the U.S. bombing Yemen?
Yeah, why Yemen? Is it oil again?
No, it's the Gaza conflict.
Spread to Yemen?
Oh, it's all over. It's all over.
The Gaza conflict. So it's Israel's occupation of that area of the world.
Countries are siding with Israel. Countries are siding with Palestine. You can guess what side we're on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny to watch, like, other countries. I think Yemen was blockading ships.
Uh-huh.
Just real nonviolent. If we just bombed them. That was at least my understanding of the article that I read. Somebody can correct me if I'm missing something.
I briefly spoke with my brother about it yesterday, and his gloss, he must have seen some blip about it in the media on TV or something. His gloss was, you can't get in the way of the United States money. Don't fuck with our money, because then we'll fuck with you. I was like, is that what it is, Josh? He's like, that's what it boils down to.
I saw a statistic of the money that we've been printing since the pandemic, which seems like a really scary thing to do without constrictions.
Huh. Yeah.
It seems like...
Just print more.
Ooh, uh-oh.
That sounds like...
Nothing backing it.
Like flailing in the failing economy.
Suddenly sending over $1 trillion makes sense. You're like, oh, you just print more. Uh-oh.
There's going to be a backlash, an economic backlash.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Lydia's reading the chat.
Yeah, she is. You could see that's exactly what she's looking at. I promise that I'll be happy and take care of myself. Toaster, I promise. Are you happy now?
I know that, gold standard, but my dad would always talk about that, and I'm always thinking, like, isn't there something, instead of always going back? Is there something that we can do to go forward?
That's what Bitcoin is for. Don't you think cryptocurrency is like a step forward?
But cryptocurrency is monetizing algorithms that I guess they're ones that I don't know. But it's like you only get in you only get out of it what you put into it. And so like if everybody pulls out, if the pull out game is strong, then it kind of like disappears.
Ooh, she's posing. Yeah, I thought there was something about the blockchain that made it like a more stable currency, but I don't know enough about it to really speak to it.
Magic Toaster, inject us with your
Bring back the gold
Bitcoin
standard.
knowledge. Like, is there something that's not a mineral? What a strange thing, right?
Well,
This
the cash itself is
is-
symbolic because
Right?
the
Isn't a dollar
substance has
alone?
no value. It's just that we all agree that it has value. Maybe we should go back to cowrie shells.
We can blow inside our cosmic conches and summon economic aliens.
Economic aliens. Yeah, we like to think that aliens are above those types of
They're like buying
issues.
stuff.
They're like,
You
what
guys
is
can't
what do you need
manifest
currency
stuff with your
for?
brain?
Yikes. You don't have telekinesis? That's fucked up.
Ooh, hard switch up to a subject. Because we've been just in the house. Because it's been, whatever, 14 degrees out. I emailed a sausage company because I noticed that on the box, nowhere, where do the animals come from? Where is it processed? Where are you there was no information on the box.
What was the brand?
And Applegate,
Okay.
Stargate
Stargate
meat.
SG1.
And I've noticed, like, I picked up a yogurt for Ruby. You know, it's like some fucking princess dong themed sprinkle bullshit. And there was no, I was like, I don't know where this is from. And I was like, that's really weird. And I understand that I'm sure the globalization of processed foods is skyrocketing at a rate that we can't even fathom.
Yeah.
So I was curious.
It's like the lie of omission. It's like, well, we didn't lie because we didn't
'Cause
tell
it's
you
not
either
on
way.
And I got an email back today.
Ooh, what did they say?
Ooh, look at this.
She's so strong. What is she, 2.5 months?
I think she's getting her teepees already.
Really?
Yeah. She's
Getting her TVs. Living in a nowhere land. Can't tell if you're on that screen.
The camera I can block, but yeah, we're good. So I got an email back. Hey, Whitney.
Thanks for your concern.
We source our animals from, are you ready?
Indonesia?
Are you ready? The United States, the United Kingdom, Australia, Uruguay. Ooh, there's another one.
Venezuela?
Well, and I know that like Kirkland chickens will ship their chickens to China, have China process the chickens. The US, Canada, the United Kingdom, Uruguay, and Australia.
That's bonkers. Not only does raising cattle create so much greenhouse gas through their farts and their like total reduction of fields or wherever they're grown, but the shipping costs and the
Is it
emissions,
cheaper?
it's obscene.
Well, what I hear is
No, sit.
you don't want to pay American people a minimum wage to process animals.
She's agreeing with you.
You don't want... It just seems like the least American thing you could do, which is just source... Or is it But there's all these notions of what America is, right? Like, am I talking 1940s America, or am I talking 1990s America, or am I talking 2023 America? 2023 America, it's super American to have zero American workers and outsource every aspect of your company and not give a fuck about your employees and source your meat from 6 different countries. Versus just, it's like we're also in Texas, which is like king farmland and cattle land and hog land.
Yeah, it's the processing facilities and the cost of doing business outside of this country is much cheaper. And then because our meat consumption is just off the hook, off the chain.
It is insane.
Everybody wants to eat meat with every meal, and then they are disgusted when the cost is higher, you know? They're like, how much is a pack of chicken thighs? I'm not paying that. They like it's a paradox, or it's like a catch-22. Like, we can't support this level of consumption by keeping our processing within this country. You know what I mean?
Well, and I know that we export a lot of our pork to China because China is one of the highest meat consuming countries. Yeah,
and they have a bonkers population, right?
Yeah. Do they? It's such a big fucking country.
I think a lot of it is the Gobi Desert, though.
Right, so they're all stuck in
Hey Siri.
Yes,
What's
Megan.
the population of China?
Dear Discord. Whoa.
Okay, it's 1,442,965,000. That was Chinese population in 2021. That's so
Are you about
bonk.
to wreck your Lisa Frank pants? I can feel it. She's about to explode.
She's telling you.
Dear Discord, will we ever care less about profit? Like, do you think the next wave of people in charge will be like, you know, the ocean has significantly less fish in it. We should maybe consider... So profit's always the name of the game? Forever?
I just don't think any politician will ever get anywhere if they're running on the platform of let's care for the planet, even though that's what we need to do.
Not even care for the planet, but just like offer benefits. It's so crazy. There's a corporation I know that's Did you guys hear that? Did you guys fucking hear that?
Oh shit. That was amazing. Lydia just ripped ass.
Oh my god.
Do you want help?
I'm gonna pass her off.
That was so cool, Lydia. I loved that. Of course, milk goes in, poop comes out. She's like, what? It's not unnatural. It's quite natural, darling. We don't mean to ridicule you for it.
I can hold on to her too.
She got poopy diaper. Or maybe it was just a wicked fart. It was definitely wet. It was definitely wet.
It's never just a fart. It is never just a fart. Anyways, what was I saying about...
I don't know, man.
Instead of offering paternity pay or paid leave, they're like, do you want to take money out of your retirement account?
Yeah, that sounds great. Let me just wreck my future to support my present. And then it's
like on top of that, these corporations have huge staffing issues. So it's like, okay, well, if you just offered to fucking pay people, you wouldn't have staffing issues. But yeah, it's like everybody's obsessed with profit. And I think profit has gotten to a point now where it's just like so much fucking money that 90% of people are tantalized by how many zeros are at the end of the number, so that they just...
Yeah, even though there have been multiple studies that prove that having more money does not make you happier. Like, having basic needs covered does increase your happiness. So if we could get people out of poverty, then we can increase our national happiness rate. But getting people more cars and more boats and larger houses, that does not make people happier. It makes them worse off, actually.
Can you ask Siri how many houses Whoopi Goldberg has? I don't want to pick on Whoopi Goldberg because I think that she's brilliant, but she has when I heard how many houses she has, I'm like, so you spend one day every other week at all of them?
My first thought that comes to mind is maybe she has a big family too. And she like lets her family stay in her houses when she's not there.
There's that optimism again.
Yeah.
They're all abandoned fucking Whoopi Goldberg houses.
Hey, Siri.
Sitting with...
How many houses does Whoopi Goldberg have? Oh, I'm sorry. She didn't understand me. How many houses does Whoopi Goldberg have? There's no easy answer here.
It
Has
says
owned
historic.
property on both coasts and has a penchant for old.
It was like 8 houses or
Let's
something.
assume it's a
It was
lot.
like 8 mansions.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. What do you do when you have a bunch of money? How many people redistribute it to the poor?
2 of them.
Warren Buffett?
Wouldn't that be just... I just feel like... Well, there's
Bill
a
and
lot
Melinda
of
Gates?
philanthropy, and I don't think you hear about it. But it's still not enough. You know, okay,
We need spiritual wealth.
dear Discord, I was thinking about sales tax.
Uh-huh.
Okay, every transaction at 24/7 is taxed.
8.25%.
So I was thinking, I looked up like how much, let me look again just to be sure. Texas made in 2022 $46 billion in sales tax. Okay, and that's just Texas.
What does Texas do with its taxes?
What? I was like, okay.
Is that how
First of all,
it pays its state employees?
there's no way that comes even close to $46 billion. It's just an unfathomable amount of money, and we get garbage that barely makes it on time to anywhere. And I don't know. I'm just like,
Do states have to pay a tribute to the federal government? Like, does the state of Texas have to pay taxes to be in the union? Or did I just make that up?
I have books about the economy that I haven't read yet because it's so fascinating to me. And then when I start reading it, it's like most of the book is pointless and hard to understand.
I thought about cracking a Susie Orman book.
Who's Susie Orman?
She's like a female financial independence guru. She's supposed to help me get my personal financial life in order.
You said you almost cracked it.
I didn't crack it. I looked at it and I was like, wouldn't it be cool if I was financially savvy? And I was like, ew. I want to get a book about my brain. Well, I don't know, man. I know that I need a certain amount of money in order to pay my bills and live somewhere and enjoy nice cheeses and coffee in the morning. Beyond that, I feel like I don't need that much to live, but other people need a lot more stuff. They need nice cars and bags and watches and offshore funding.
They need their
for,
Berkeys.
They need their Birkin bags, babe.
They need to put their tampons in a $10,000 bag.
My tampon. There's like whole reality shows just based around really rich people and their behaviors, you know? Kardashians,
I think
crazy rich Asians.
We should rate rich people's underground bunkers and see who we're going to come after when the world ends.
Oh, but then we'll get red flagged and black hooded.
I'm here to be red flagged and black hooded. What do you want? To go back to sleep? That's all she wants.
How do we get around the profit thing? We all want to make more profit, but we all think we do better with more money. Do better things. What would you do with more money?
I just want to make Lucas my trophy wife. That's all. And that doesn't take much.
Right.
That wouldn't take much.
You mean to remove him from having to go to work?
Yes.
But in a fantasy scenario.
Oh, like if I was making the
Just like if you had the cheat code.
Oh my gosh, I would like build. We live like 2 blocks away from a high school. I'd give them a brand new high school.
Yeah.
Because in Texas, there's the fucking schools get zero money because of we will find loopholes in that won't pay for property taxes called like what is it called, homesteading or something. And I'm unfortunately one of those people too. But you got to do it in a city that's rapidly growing because otherwise your taxes go up like mad. Anyways, they learn in those like little tiny little boxcar trailers.
Yeah.
Instead of just building a regular school, they just add more mobile homes that they can.
What would the perfect school look like? I feel like it would have fountains and escalators.
There would be no desks. Like there would be financial maturity classes
and jungle gyms
classes
and like crazy interactive
anti-joining a cult classes. I feel like too many people fall for false idols.
Self-esteem classes,
emotional regulation classes.
Yes, emotional intelligence.
So your parents hated you classes, like how do we deal with that? How do you emancipate yourself? Like think about all the different
sort of empowering the individual that is the teenager.
Murphy's like, no way. I wasn't standing at that door.
Dad, please no.
Lucas, if you had to pick a class that would be taught in high schools that is currently not taught, what class would it be?
The class that would be taught in high school that was not taught in high school?
That is not taught.
A potentially beneficial thing that we could
Something
add
that
to the
needs
curriculum.
to be taught. Car maintenance, I think, is another one.
Something like metaphysical psychology or something.
Nice.
Like the connection that your mind has with your body.
Connection between mind and body would be huge.
And that could go into gut health too.
Not just like
Good health and butt health.
Gut health and butt health. Amen, brother. It's all connected, so you have to come up with a way to like introduction to. It's like the self 101. The self is the world. How do you explain that in a class?
Yeah, your outer reality is a reflection of your inner reality.
Yeah. Literally your body and all its organs is
it would
providing
be called the NPC remover school.
Oh, the NPC graduation? No, the NPC. No, that's good. What you said,
meditation would be a huge mindfulness meditation classes. I think I'd group that in with mind-body connection. Yeah, responding instead of reacting. God damn, let's open up a school.
Yeah, well, this is our school. This is our platform from which we instruct. So I'm reading a book right now called Happiness Hypothesis, and it sort of unites ancient wisdom with modern science in an effort to understand ourselves and our world and our connectivity and where happiness comes from and how we can work to cultivate it. And so the metaphor throughout the book that he's used, regardless of, what ancient tradition he's reflecting on or what scientific process of our bodies he's talking about, he uses a metaphor of the elephant and the rider. So like, you are both elephant and rider. Rider is the sort of conscious, decision-making, rational logician who is like taking in all of the information and trying to control the elephant. And the elephant kind of runs around, just stampedes at times, goes towards juicy fruits, just sort of driven by impulse and desire or fear or anger, sort of those larger things that can kind of override our rational processes. So I think if we could orient people to understand that they are both elephant and rider, and the rider's not necessarily in control, the elephant is in control. So ways that we can sort of unify those two forces inside ourselves, instead of like knowing what the better decision is, but still like giving into the elephant impulse of doing the bad thing and then living in shame because we did the bad thing. It's more like understanding who we are and why we are and what we are and how we are.
That's the premise for the Bhagavad Gita.
Hell yeah.
Lucas said that's the premise for the Bhagavad Gita.
So do we just teach the Bhagavad Gita?
Yes.
You can dabble in it.
Oh, yeah.
You can do a little dibble, you can do a little dabble.
Dabble in the Bhagavad Gita.
I actually haven't read the Bhagavad Gita. I have Yogananda's interpretation of the Bhagavad Gita.
I have it on my shelf, but I've only read like the first 4 pages.
Ooh, speaking of impulse, we did an improv class.
We did. We did an improv class.
Did you have fun?
I did have fun, but my fun was sort of derived from looking at all these other little scared babies who are afraid to like take a chance. Whereas I feel like I'm constantly taking chances in that way.
Especially
And
social chances.
yeah,
That's
just like like putting
we
my
thrive
shit out
on
there to sizzle the matrix. But yeah, it was great to see people kind of get loose and let it flow in the way that they could.
I like the vibe of the few people in there that did like to sizzle the matrix.
Yeah.
Like, it's fun to be in a room with other people who get it.
Yeah, that definitely. Did you enjoy yourself?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, but it made me realize that I'm good at it, and so are you. And I think it'd be a fun thing to do, but not necessarily something I need to pay for.
No, it was good to do a free little dip in so we can figure out where we stand.
Yeah.
Which is at the top.
Swing, swing, swing. But their stand-up class, the way he described the teacher for that seemed like a really fucking sick endeavor to me, because I'm like, I don't even know where you would start.
Yeah, stand-up is something I've been curious about, and I tried that a couple of times, but I don't know how you write material and then remember material.
That's why cooking class is the perfect platform, because it's situational.
It's basically my own stand-up, but it's with teaching people how to cook food as well.
We got to get somebody in there to film us when we're funny.
Yay.
So people they know what they're getting into.
It's kind of, I like, the expectation versus the reality. Because when you take a cooking class, I think that's why people give us 5 stars so often. They're like, oh, we're going to take a cooking class and learn how to cook. But then they are like met with this blast of information and enthusiasm that just like knocks them out of their boots, and everybody's just like, this was so much more than a cooking class. I'm like, yeah, doggy, because it was with me and Aaron
college.
and Whitney. It's cooking university. Fussaroni. Get walloped by your mama.
Lucas says you gotta smack them hard.
They like it.
Yeah.
Firm pats.
Like this. Like, "Ugh," but she stops.
Let's check in. I don't know how you would teach that. Meaningful relationship classes. That is good. That's a good idea. Meaningful relationship. You sort of have to start with emotional intelligence
Yeah, and then you could get rid
and
of college.
self-esteem.
Or leave college to like engineers, doctors, and surgeons.
Well, college was really important for me in finding a peer group.
Don't you think if high school was like that, you'd find a peer group? If high school was like this.
Yeah, I don't know if everybody would get out of high school what we'd want them to get. Because people still want to skip class and do drugs behind the dumpster.
It's an age thing.
At that age, you're just so emotionally fraught. Or maybe I was. I don't know if everybody was.
I think if you peaked in high school, that's a bad thing.
Yeah. My brother peaked in high school.
Wait, for real?
Yeah.
I think if you're like seen as the cool, you got your shit together, I'm like, isn't your reality gonna be rocked when you graduate?
Well, I think you need to make the realization that you're kind of a big fish in a little pond. And then
But how many of them do?
the next step for growth is to throw yourself into the big ocean and see how you fare then. I don't know. I'm thinking of my cousin Richard. I think he's always been really with it and like really intelligent but also charismatic. I don't think he's ever been at the bottom of anything. Like, he's traveling the world right now with the army. He has like a high position where he doesn't have to be in combat. He is like a physical therapist or some kind of kinesthesiologist or so. I just made that word up. But
Welcome to the kinesthesiologist lab.
kinesthesiologist. But I think he was popular in high school and he's popular now in his regular everything. Some people just got it like that.
Toaster says I'm a small fish in a small fish bowl. Oh.
That's good, babe. That's all you need. That's all right. Logic and emotional processing classes. I lament. I was thinking about this this morning when I was washing my face. Just like women and children are protected and taken care of over everybody else. And who does that leave out? Men. Men are sacrificial.
When are women and children taken care of?
Well, that's the old adage, like women and children first. Like into the lifeboats, like women and children first.
Only on giant boats that are sinking because babe, I don't know where else. I went to
you're supposed to open a door and let women and children pass first.
I went to a indoor play place that did not allow breastfeeding.
That's disgusting.
I said call the cops.
That is disgusting.
I looked at him in the face and I said call the cops.
Wait, someone came over to you and
Yes.
said put your tit away?
Yeah.
I am
We have a room.
aghast.
We have a room for that. And I was like, cool. You want me to leave my 4-year-old in here while I go somewhere else? Fuck you.
Where was that?
It's at a furniture store.
That is absurd.
Isn't that fucking fucked up?
Well, why do people take offense to it?
I don't know. To feed your child? Because they're for jerking off on.
Titties are only to receive a cum shot. You must not bear them
titties.
unless they're ready to be jizzed on.
Look, if you whip your tit out, I'm going to get a boner, and it's your fault.
It's your fault I got a boner. Once I get a boner, it's in control. I can't do anything about it. So keep your titties put away.
Isn't that fucked? I was mad
Is
all day.
So fucked.
He didn't call the cops, and I just sat on the couch and breastfed.
Of course he didn't call the cops because he knew how absurd it was to demand that a mother stop feeding her child in public.
That's my therapist was like, were you wearing what you're wearing right now? And I looked down, I was like, yeah. She's like, well, that's why they didn't call the cops, because they had like that Power Corrupts gold skull jacket on, and then like my big goth boots.
You like call the cops, bitch?
Call the fucking cops. Fucking
Oh my
pussy.
God.
You pussy ass bitch.
Wait, I don't want to use pussy as a bad word.
You.
Pussy is strong. Pussy is...
Yeah, but it's also mine, so I can use it however I...
Absolutely. I just think...
Yeah, I don't ever want to call somebody a pussy, 'cause it's like, oh, the thing that grows skulls and then spits them out.
Yeah, pussies are magical. Oh, did you watch that hamburger stand-up thing?
Yes.
I
Who
thought that was
was
so
that?
funny. I don't know her name.
Dude, it was brilliant.
She's describing the beauty of labia,
Cervix.
cervix. Isn't cervix internal though?
She was talking about her cervix being a wrapped up cheeseburger that holds
She's
it all
talking
together.
about her puss, the whole package. I thought. The
The,
hamburger.
the hamburger was the cervix part.
Okay, I'll have to go back and rewatch it. I thought I took it differently. Thank you for your cervix. Yeah, thank
See?
you
Yeah,
for your
thank
respect
you-
for the
thank
cervix.
you for your cervix. We should have like a different kind of salute. Like what's better than this?
Well, the heart is kind
Or
of...
maybe hands that open. Thank you for your salute.
Thank you for your cervix. I don't know, man. Gee whiz. I'm pissed at that guy who tried to make you stop breastfeeding.
Yeah, she was like screaming. And
She's hungry and I have milk in my tit.
oh, you're gonna escort me off the fucking couch?
They're gonna handcuff you?
Fuck you.
That's so
man.
gross. That said, what do you think about virtue?
Ooh.
What
do
comes
you...
up when you think of the word virtuous?
I think of saints. I think of people who are in balance.
Huh. Do you think saints are balanced people?
I don't you have to go through a lot to become a saint?
Yeah, you basically have to be so unbalanced that you die in a religious martyrdom.
You have to die in martyrdom?
Most of them did. You also have to perform miracles. Provable miracles. The Catholic Church has to investigate your miracles.
But magic doesn't exist.
Right.
And
Only-
anything
only through
spiritual
God.
is woo-woo. Yeah, but they have a whole board of members to see what's a miracle and what isn't.
Saints, I think, do espouse the type of virtuous characteristics that a lot of people hold valuable. But I think regular people can be virtuous too. Like when you have this drive to do the right thing for no good reason, just because you know it's the right thing.
What are the 7 virtues?
Like in the Catholic way, if I had to guess, I would say chastity.
That's the first one we say.
Yeah. Did I have any written down here? See, I have sort of a humanist, widely endorsed human virtues: wisdom, courage, humanity, justice, temperance, and transcendence. And I thought transcendence was interesting. It's the ability to forge a connection with something larger than your own self. Like, that's virtuous, that you can identify and relate to or somehow connect to a larger force, whether it be God or whether it be nature or just sort of like the laws of physics.
Have
So-
you ever heard of the ninefold celestial hierarchy?
No.
I typed in virtues and that's what came up.
Let's hear it.
Oh, wow. It's freaky. It's like aliens. Look.
Whoa. Those are the different types of angel wings? Oh, seraphim, cherubim, thrones. This is all made up shit. That seems a little bonk. I mean, it's all made up shit, if we're honest.
Angels are ranked into 9 choirs and divided into 3 hierarchies.
Says you.
Dude, it smells like baby shit over here. Anyways, virtue. Behavior showing high moral standards.
Blah.
Is shitting your pants a virtue?
Oh, Toaster said the 7 virtues are the opposite of the deadly sins. So the opposite of lust is chastity. The opposite of greed is
Boobaheim.
giving shit away. Generosity. The opposite of, what's another one? Anger. Patience. Am I nailing it?
What do you think about virtues?
Well, I think they're cultural. I think it depends on where you're born, who you're born to, and what culture you're born into. That will determine what you think is virtuous. Because some people believe that giving to the poor is virtuous, and some people think that saving your money and taking care of your family is virtuous. I don't know. Just like, can we be virtuous if we don't have religion? I think absolutely. But a lot of people need the context of religion for it to have a deeper meaning and to actually get on board with the importance of being virtuous, as opposed to just being virtuous and that being its own reward. You have to like be awaiting the pearly gates of heaven in order to behave right.
It's so crazy that it's stood the test of time. Like, we're still on that kick.
It hasn't
For
been that
2000
long.
no.
Like, if you think about how long the earth has been here.
I know, but to us in like our human time, it
Yeah.
seems like a long time.
2,000 years is a long time. And it's just this super long game of telephone. You're not allowed on the couch. I love you, but you're not allowed on the couch. I'm sorry.
But you are my wife.
But we are married.
It's strange but it sounds like you've got gripe with the term NPC and you don't believe in that.
Well, I just don't think that it's moral to assume that I'm better than anyone else.
I don't know if I would say better, but anyways, what I'm saying is like the group of people who get swept away in those tides of catastrophe and who are selfish and buy all the chicken stock for themselves and
Yeah.
who do things without thought.
Yeah.
Those people,
Well,
those are the people who need religion because I think they don't know how to think for themselves.
I see what you mean, but I feel like people behave differently when they're in groups as opposed to when they're acting independently. And people in groups are just shitty. They go with the whim of whoever is speaking the loudest.
Would you consider people who are shopping at a grocery store a group?
I guess so. People get in there and they behave really differently. Don't you think people in grocery stores are being weird? Like, nobody wants to make eye contact. Nobody is, like, being courteous.
Because they're hunting.
Yeah, they're like,
I need supplies. I need to get my supplies. It's every man for himself. It's me versus the world.
but it's not that serious. I guess I have mad respect for you because you see the game. You know the game that we're participating in, and you know that you can zoom out from the game.
Why are you bringing up the zooming out game part? In terms of virtues or in terms of NPCs or...
Well, yeah, I think people behave differently when they're ensconced in the game, when they can't rise above the game. People are...
Hi,
Hi, Ruby. What's going on, sister?
I've been very tired and I wanted to just. Papa cooked me an egg.
Just now?
No.
And that was.
Mama? I need to go pee. And then I'm gonna come back and
I'm right here, honey.
You can do it.
I'm not going back to home.
Take Murphy with you.
He will not go with me.
I guess to put it all together, I think people behave differently based on their context. I think if you were to pluck an individual from a group of so-called NPCs, they would tell you a rich tapestry of family history and moments that matter to them, and what they're trying to create for their children or their hopes and dreams. Like I feel that for everybody who's out there. I think everybody has that potential, and that's the same as me. Like, I come from a long line of human beings who fucked each other, and I live in a box with a door and a window, and I drive a car that has 4 wheels.
Yeah, when I say NPCs, I don't think these people have no history or are erased of.
Right, but I guess NPC to me is just like empty.
Yeah, no. These people clearly have. I think, like, the way that I see it is somebody will ask me a question and I'll respond, and they go, haha. Oh, and they're like kind of afraid because I'm saying something that's self-aware, and then they like look at the floor. I'm like, oh, you're an NPC.
Can you give an example of that?
I think the first one that keeps coming to mind is I had a chimney guy, and he was definitely like Russian, and we were having a hard time communicating, but I was I could tell he was like worried that I wasn't understanding him. I'm like, just fucking use your hands, dude. I get it. Like, you're out here, it's 20 degrees out, you're fucking checking chimneys. Like, thank you for listening or whatever. And he's kind of keeps looking at stuff.
He's like, you got some interesting pictures in here.
He looks at the tattoo on my finger and he goes, are you an Illuminati? And I was like, would my house look like this if I was in the Illuminati? And he starts laughing. I said, I'd live in a much different house if I was in the Illuminati. And I thought he was going to pee his fucking pants. Like, because I could tell that he wasn't anticipating, or I don't know what he was doing. You know, he was kind of like maybe trying to.
You were not giving basic housewife vibes.
No. And I feel like that happens in LEA too, when you say something and they go, huh.
You are not what I expected you to be. But that goes back to sizzling the Matrix too. It's like
right, but you would assume that people in the Matrix are following a circuit and they're not ever like stepping off the grid.
Yeah.
And that's what I think of NPCs. Somebody who's just like, and then everything they do is they believe everything that they're told. They don't question anything.
Right.
And they tell the cops they're gonna snitch on you. They're gonna because they're just rule followers who don't ever go, fuck this. This doesn't make sense.
Yeah, there's
Give me
no
my
questioning of the authoritative or like the knowledge, the prevailing knowledge of the time. There's no like curiosity of what lies beyond that, or how that got established.
No, and then
or where it's going.
And then when you kind of go, what if? They go,
that's terrifying.
Or I've been on dates where they're like, you're weird. And you're like, oh, that's how you define it.
I thought that was just me.
Oh God, no! I went on so many dates where people were like, check.
I don't know what this is, but it's not a person.
Exactly.
It's definitely not a girl.
And then you feel like Charlton Heston strapped to a fucking
Strapped with a gat.
strapped to a planet full of not your own.
Oh, the apes.
The apes.
Yeah, I feel that. How do we still offer love and empathy to those who are stuck inside the system?
I don't know what the word... I have empathy for everything and everybody, and everyone, all the time. But I can hold two things.
Yeah, definitely.
I can be like, yeah, that's great. Cool. Like, I honor the path that you're on and you're suffering, but get the fuck away from me.
Yeah,
That's something I'll have to I'll put a pin in that one. Like, how do you offer suffering, or how do you offer empathy without getting sucked into empathy or into something that's almost inappropriate to me?
The inappropriate would be
The pendulum swinging,
stooping to their level of ignorance.
No. It would no. And it's even hard to call it ignorant because I don't think it's lesser. I just see it as a neutral. They are neutral forces in the matrix. But yeah, they still have all the. They're not, but there's no worth. There's no hierarchy to me. They just are.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. We're not better than them. We're just different.
I wouldn't eat somebody unless I had to.
Right. And in that case, we would not eat their brains.
No, I wouldn't eat their brains.
Prions.
Empathy versus sympathy. Yeah, let's talk about that next time because I want to formulate my thoughts because this happens on MAWPOD. I have like a lot of feeling, but I'm like, I have no idea how to put that into words yet. Like, I'd have to think about it.
That's the beauty of the live stream, babe.
I'm dying.
I don't want you to die.
Dude, I had lemon pound cake French toast. Oh!
That sounds so good.
So good. Yeah.
With whip?
Elderberry liqueur whip.
Dab, bro.
Elderflower liqueur.
I have been curious about that spot, the Broken Egg Jammer, but I haven't meandered
They have
over.
good coffee too, like good cup of coffee. It has flavor. Like sometimes when you go to like Kirby Lane, you're like, give me a cup of coffee, and you're like, ugh, why did I get this?
Burnt shit. I love when coffee has like that tart kind of fruitiness.
You'd like Proud Marys.
I don't often hit up the coffee spots because my coffee ritual at home is so strong.
Proud Marys is a breakfast spot, but they do.
But I would die for a good breakfast coffee experience. That sounds so good.
They do pour overs, and they're like super fruity, and it's really fancy. They bring you like a wine glass.
Yum.
But it's really like you get the cup of coffee, and it's complex as fuck.
That sounds
And tart.
amazing.
Like that's what makes me think of tart. Wow. A burp mic. All right. Ooh, 120 minutes. 120 minutes. It's been 80 minutes. I've got some videos to fucking edit.
Thank you for blessing me with your presence today.
Thanks for coming over. Do you have rubbish stuff that you've shelved and never get to?
Like editing?
No, like ideas.
Oh, yeah, my, you saw.
There's like these.
This whole all these pages.
I've got 2 scripts, 2 videos I've wanted to do, but I'm like, I gotta
Can we put them on the calendar?
Let's put them on the fucking calendar.
Can we put the next rubbish episode on the calendar too?
Calendar.
I've been thinking of like I keep coming back to your experience with tuna.
Yeah, it's been horrid. Talk to most people in the Midwest. They grow up not liking fish because our experiences with
Landlocked.
fish growing up are canned,
Yeah.
poached, pickled, old,
Lutefisk.
lutefisk.
I would like to. I have some ideas. I have some big ideas.
If you were to buy sushi grade salmon, where would you get it from? Where does Aaron get his salmon from?
Non.
He get it from 99?
He gets the frozen stuff. Because it's like frozen right after they process it. So it's, if you're buying it and it's thawed, it has been frozen and then thawed.
Yeah, because salmons are fucking number one worm infested.
Yes, the freezing is absolutely essential for sushi grade fish because of parasites in the flesh.
Right.
That's the only way to kill them. So buy it frozen. That way you defrost it when you need it and you don't have to. It's just a lower quality if you buy it.
I saw that dude, Chucky or whatever.
Chucky
Made
Cruz.
that fucking salmon crudo with the... I was like, yo, I need that. I need that in my life.
Yeah, crudo is delicioso. I love when Salty Sal would do like crudo specials because we had really nice fish. And it would be like hamachi crudo or salmon.
Dude, crudos. Yeah, sorry.
With like a little
crudos.
grapefruit supreme and like a sliver of avocado.
Like, how is that not lunch every day?
Because you'd get mercury poisoning.
That's true.
Big fish eat little fish. And they eat mercury.
There's also, I found out through some sort of Netflix documentary, all the fish we don't eat. Because there's like the big 6 that we eat. And it's like, do you understand how many types of fish there are out there and how many don't get eaten? And
I'm
taste
sure they get turned into cat food.
just as good. There's a restaurant, I think, that focuses only on fish that you haven't heard of.
Yeah, there was like a resurgence of like the nasty parts. Like they were selling a hamachi collar as a dish for like $26, whereas that would be like the cook's treat because everybody wants to eat the fillet.
There's the butcher's steak.
Yeah.
The steak that
It's
they keep
like
for themselves.
the desire of people to eat like the poverty dishes.
But
you
they
know?
won't eat tongue. And it's like, well, it's still muscle.
I've had really good beef tongue.
I'm sure.
With like a peanut butter curry inside a steamed bun with sliced jalapeno and onion and mint and Thai basil and cilantro. Dude. When you have all of that freshness and like nutty, spicy, fucking ginger, galangal, everything, it's so fucking good. But also like lengua tacos fuck really hard too.
Yeah.
Are you hungry?
No. I ate a pound of lemon pound French toast. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. I do have crudo on the brain, though.
Crudo in the brain, crudo in the brain, crudo in the brain, crudo in the brain.